Hello there. Today we're going to take a look at how we can set up a template for children to use to support their writing. I'm going to be looking at this document here, the 5 Pillars of Islam. So I'll click to launch the app. So I'm opening this app now as a child would. If they'd come along to it, I can click on the purple arrows here to open up the leaflet. I can see the text boxes that I can put some facts into. I've got a photo button here that I can include some photographs from if I want to. And these will all be there for the children. I can click the green arrow at the bottom to rotate the leaflet round. Now, I'm not going to actually be writing anything in this leaflet today. we're going to be far more concerned by what's going on around it. We can see here that we've got a clip art of pictures to add, and we can start off by showing you how you can add your own photos to this. And you do that by clicking the plus sign at the bottom here, and then by clicking choose file, and then you navigate to find the file that you want. So if I've got a screenshot here of an image, I can click to add that. And that's now been added to the clip art. I'll click to add another one just to show you again. So from my PC, and then I could perhaps click on this image here and choose that. I then have to wait a moment whilst it uploads the image and adds it to the gallery, and here they are. So there are my 2 photos that I've added. You can do that with school trips, anything you want. So that's adding our own pictures. The other things that we can do are we've already got a checklist here, the writer's checklist, which we can access by clicking this green square at the top here. And the writer's checklist is editable. It isn't yet, but we are going to be able to change this in a moment or two. And we do that by going into teacher mode in the piece of writing, which we do by clicking the black hat up here at the top. So I can now say OK. And now do you notice down the side I've got these pencils, and what these enable me to do is I can click onto one of these and I can edit the title. The title is what's written here, so you can see up here I have been able to type fast enough. It's a question, and down here it's written here. If I want to have something, a tooltip, that will come up on the screen if the children hover over it. So I could just maybe put in here, speedy typing helps you to get things done quickly. More time to think. So just, it could be a reflection like that. I could also add a sound here if I want to as well. So I click on OK. And then as I hover over this area, you see the tooltip pops up in the little window like that. If I wanted to delete any of these, I could click onto here and just click the little bin here to delete it. So I might want to delete some of these later on to make a sort of simpler version of it for an SEN or a lower ability group. Or children who maybe don't need to be thinking about those things. The other thing that we can do in here is we can add something called a word bin. And the word bin, we activate that by clicking on the cog at the top. Does your project have a word bin? Not at the moment. Let's get one. I'm going to get an empty one. And what this has brought up is this box here, a think about box. So we can use this as scaffolding and as a frame for the children. It's got a button in it here, which on it says your opinion. And then the tooltip is what is your opinion on? And if I click into a writing box and click the button, it inserts a sentence starter, in my opinion. So we've got 3 elements to these buttons: the actual title of the button itself, the tooltip we get when it hovers, and what it'll insert into the text if we click it. If I click on the pencil next to it, I can see there's a 4th element if I want. I can add a sound in here, so I could add my voice recording so the children could listen to a voice prompt at that point if I want to. So in this case, I could maybe put in here something like, I could put the title of this button would be the 1st pillar, perhaps. The text it inserts could be the profession of faith, brackets the So that's what it will put into the text here. And I could maybe have the tooltip saying So what we've got now is if I click on this, I've edited this. So it's called first pillar. If I hover over it, you can see what it says. And if I just delete this, I'll just show you how it can insert something here. So where I've got my cursor flashing, I'll click on first pillar and you can see the text which I put into the insert box has been inserted. So this is a good way of giving children a structure and of giving them some support. I often see these two boxes here as going hand in hand. The Think About box can provide support and prompts for things to think about. The writer's checklist is the expectations, is the challenge. So support here and challenge over here in sort of quite simple terms is how I often think about it. We can add further buttons over here if we want to by clicking clicking the little plus here. So I could put on here the second pillar and my text might be daily prayers here. Daily prayers are said 5, and then the children could continue and finish that sentence off. And the tooltip could be like so. So we've now created an extra button here. So we're gradually building up that sort of support system. When I've created it so that I'm happy with how it perhaps is for my most able writers, so I've perhaps got the most challenge over here and plenty of things to think about, what I'll do then is I'll save a copy of this. So I'll go into menu, I'll click on save, and I'm going to save this into some kind of templates folder. I'll put it into my work, or if I'm sharing it with a year group colleague, I'd put it somewhere into the staff folder at the bottom here where the other teachers can see it. But at the moment, I'm going to put it here into my templates, and I might call this HA, sort of high ability 5 pillars. And I'd save that. And what I might do then is I might edit this to make a slightly simpler version of it. So I might get rid of some of the items from the writer's checklist, or I might edit them and change them a little bit. So I could perhaps take something out of about the speed of typing and delete this entry here. I might want to take something out about maybe the text being organized into paragraphs. So I'm making a sort of a lower level of challenge writers checklist for children who that's appropriate for. Over here, I could take out or add further information to any of the buttons that I've got over here. And then what I'd do is I'd click on save, and I might now save this as the MA 5 pillars. So I'm saving a different setup here for the children in that sort of middle ability group. So let's go ahead and call it that. And then yet again at the end, when I've done that, I can make another version for the SEND children in the class, or for any other levels of challenge that we need. When it's all done, we exit, and then I go to my work and into my templates folder or wherever I've saved them, and from here I can click to set it as a to-do. So here's my higher ability template. I'll now click on set to do. I'll work my way through the setting of the to-do, just whiz through that quickly, because the important bit on this is the bit at the end where I can set it to the class. So which children am I going to decide to set this for? So this one might be going to Carlos and to Anne, and I would click on set to do, and that's done. So those two children have now had the HA5 pillars document set for them. For my middle ability group here, I would select the file, click on set to do, and I'm going to show you another way now that I could set that. So in here, I could go to Velma class and choose some of the other children. So I could choose Angela and Andrew perhaps as my middle ability group and set it for them. But on the other hand, I might have already set up some ability groups. So I could have a group here which is my high ability group, group 1, group 5, group 4, purple group, and so on. And I could choose to set it to a group that I've already created as one of the challenge groups in the class. But at the moment, I'll just, rather than going down the groups road here, I'll just select the children directly from my class. And I can see that we've got those two. They've now got that set. So we've taken a look at a lot in this video, haven't we? We've taken a look at how you can add your own pictures to an existing document. You can add a word bin to it and create that framework. We've taken a look at how you can edit the writer's checklist. We've looked at how you can save a version of it for one of your challenge groups, make some more changes, save another version for another challenge group, and so on, and then how you can set those different versions to the children in your different groups. We've covered a lot today. I hope you'll find it useful, and thank you very much for your time in watching.